Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're just going to look at creating a register form and then submitting it off to the API. But before we're going to look at building that, we're going to fix something, which is the course middleware, which we're missing right now. So to install that, we're going to copy the composer required for this package. Alright, so that has installed, and now I just want to add this in my middleware. So I copy over this, go in app, HTTP, kernel, and then in here I just put this in, and then we should have our course middleware handled. So that's that, and then we're just going to take a look at what we want to do. So we want to make the authentication using the Nuxt auth module, and we also need the Axios module. So I just look here. So you can see that right here, documentation for that, and to install it, it's going to go to setup, copy over this, going to cd into our client folder, install Axios. Alright, so my Axios module has been installed, and I also want to install the auth module, so I'm going to also click setup here, copy over the command again, and put it in. Alright, so the auth module has also been installed, and now we want to head into our client folder, and what we want to do is we want to head into the nuxt.config.js, and in here we see a modules array, and then we just add the two modules in here. So we actually already see that the NuxtJS Axios module already has been added, but we still need to activate the auth module, like so. And that's that. I also want to add something in here, which I forgot to do, which is extract CSS. I want to set that to true to prevent it from putting all the styles in line. And we also want to add configuration for the Axios module, which is the base URL. So I'm going to set this to http jwt-auth.test/API, and that should be that. And now I want to actually add a bunch of configuration for the actual authentication. So I'm going to add that below the plugins right here. And by the way, I've already looked all this stuff up, but you can find all the configuration you can do in this documentation. So here you have the auth thing we're going to create. You can have GitHub and all sorts of authentication, but we're just going to stick with this one, local. So what we want to input is we want to say strategies. We're going to have a local strategy, the endpoints, login. The URL for that is going to be auth login. Method is going to be post, and the property name. So the property name actually defines in which JSON property it should look for our bearer token. In our case, this is just token, but you might have, if you have a different API, this might be token.something or meta.token. So for the user, so this is retrieving the user, this is just going to be me. So this is going to do API/me. The method is going to be get. Property name is going to be data. So in the data property, all the user's information is stored. I'm going to have a logout property. And this is also of get. This doesn't return a property name because we don't need it because the user is logged out. Then after that, just gonna set things up for later. So if someone is not logged in, /auth.login should be the redirect. Or actually, if they, yeah, so if this is just a redirect for login, home redirect, and that's that. So now we need to actually make the register page. So I'm going to make a folder in here called auth. I'm going to create another file, which is register.view, template with HTML, script with JavaScript. In here, I'm just going to make a container. And actually, I want to go to, before I forget this, I want to update this URL to auth/register. If we now start the server, alright, so I actually got an error, which it says that it can't find store/index.js, and the auth module needs that for some reason, but we'll just create a empty index.js file for now. So if it starts now, alright, so it started, I think, yeah. So I can refresh this. Alright, there we are. We have our dashboard, and we now have a empty register route, but that does go through. Login should still 404, of course, but you know, register works. We're now gonna just define out our page. Call MD6. Card. Gonna give this a margin top of 4. I'm gonna have a card header, and then here I'm just gonna add a p tag which has register. And below that, actually, I want to have a card body. In there is going to be a form, empty action. We're going to have a couple form groups. So label. This is going to be for the name. Input of type text. Form control, placeholder, name. Now we're going to copy this over. So we have the email and the password. And then the last one is going to be a submit button. And it's just going to be a simple one which has button default width of 100. Let's see how that looks. We have some margin issue here. Alright, so that looks good. And so if I now just define out a data object, return form, which is going to store the name, an email, and a password. And I also want to have my methods. And we're going to have a method called register, which is going to be asynchronous. And I'll just show you why in a second. And in here, just gonna be a model form dot name. Alright, so now we just need to await this .axios.post, and we're going to post to auth register with the form data, which is stored in this object, nice and conveniently, this .auth.login. So this would actually fail, so yeah, you wouldn't reach this point if the register fails, because then it would throw a promise, failed promise, instead of going through to this .auth.login. But if that does go through, we're just going to log in with the form data, and then we're just going to redirect the user off to the home page. Alright, so let's check it out. I'm going to go over the view, just check out if my, yeah, that's all working. Test at mail.com. Actually, gotta change over these Alright, so I think it logged us in. Let's check the network tab. Yeah, so alright, so that didn't fully work. What was the status code? Alright, so I think what the problem is that we respond with an error. Still logged us in though, because yeah, I have registered with this account information before, so this would all go through as normal, but this register thing isn't fully working. So go to the API, auth register, and validation errors. Alright, that's good, but we want to respond with status code 422. Alright, so now responds with the proper error. Let's check that out again. Test at mail.com. Alright, so now it gives us the validation error, and then in the next episode we'll look at how we handle off these validation errors, and yeah, then we also build out the login page. But for now, let's test it one more time. Test 2. Alright, you can see that the registration has gone through successfully. Then it processed a login request. Then it fetches the user data. And if we take a look at view, go to our state, we see auth set, and then we can see in the global state, in the vuex state, that we have this auth object with the user in here. So yeah, we basically have our registration ready to go. All we need to do is handle off our validation errors, which we're going to do with a middleware and a plugin. But we'll get to that in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.